welcome you to the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey for exclusive regional semifinal action of the 2025 Men's Basketball Championship. We're in the East region with the number 6 seed BYU Cougars and the number 2 seed Alabama Crimson Tide. Tonight's broadcast of the NCAA tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is sponsored by AutoZone, by Cintas, by Granger, by Pluto TV, by Kohl's, by Progressive Insurance, and by NCAA.com. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Graham, along with former Notre Dame forward Jordan Cornette. Brad Heller joins us later from the Westwood One Broadcast Center. And here in Newark in the East, well, we're talking about some teams that can put up some points. In fact, the 4 teams we're seeing tonight are 4 of the top 5 remaining scoring teams in this NCAA tournament. Game 1 between Alabama and BYU, and you got to think both games are going to have a little bit of a track meet feel tonight.
No question, and this first one most especially, Scott. I mean, buckle up. This one's going to be up and down. 2 teams that say, meet us in the mid-80s, because that's where the game ultimately starts to get decided. It was funny, talking to Coach Oates, we had a chance to the other day, and he said, everyone thinks this is going to be fun because we're similar teams. I know what kind of team I have. I would never want to have to prepare against my team. So this is going to be a battle. Well,
Coach Oates had a very simple message for his players that the job right now with just 2 wins is far from complete.
The goal was to win a national championship. You guys were only a third of the way there. So if any of you are thinking we've had a great year and we're resting on our laurels right now, guys, we're a third of the way there. If we're fortunate enough to beat BYU, we're halfway there. That's it.
Now, he knows of what he speaks. Last year, they were a Final Four team, got eliminated by UConn. Started this year as the number 2 team in the nation, Jordan. And when you look at what they accomplished in Cleveland, Robert Morris threw a little bit of a scare into them, but by and large, they proved to be just too deep and too good in the first 2 games.
Yeah, very deep squad, very talented. Mark Sears and his ability to control the game, to touch the paint, to spray the basketball, to lead the way for this group. Star power really starts to show itself when the competition gets elevated, and Mark Sears has the ability to take over this type of contest.
Now, BYU is not a team you're used to seeing at this stage. This is only their 3rd Sweet 16 appearance, and it was a struggle to get here for BYU in a couple of different ways. The game against Wisconsin, they grabbed a lead in that ball game, and then they held on for dear life at the end, but they led throughout.
Yeah, how they defended John Tonje, that is of concern, a guy who goes for 37 and became just unstoppable off the bounce and shot creating. And that's why it matters when you're going against a guy like Mark Sears, or you're going against an offense that is much more elevated in this Bama group. So getting back in transition, communication is going to be key, because if Sears has half the game that John Tonje, Wisconsin, had in the previous round, it could be a long evening for BYU.
Meanwhile, you've got a guy like Richie Saunders, who came in as the Big 12's most improved player, dropped 25 in that game. He has been a revelation for this team and truly the scoring leader.
And he's truly become a guy who's elevated his game in the postseason, playing his best basketball. And it's no surprise BYU is elevated, playing their best basketball. Him and Yegor Demon, these 2 are a 2-headed monster that's dangerous.
We got 2 good ones coming your way. Up next, the starting lineup in the opening tip. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's Basketball Tournament.
Smiles are powerful. A simple smile can light up a whole room. And for 25 years, Smile Train has been lighting up the world with smiles. And each smile marks a step towards a brighter future. As the world's largest cleft lip and palate charity, Smile Train has supported more than 2 million life-changing cleft surgeries in over 90 countries, leaving a legacy of resilience, joy, and beaming smiles for generations of children. To learn more about cleft lips and palates and how Smile Train is supporting the cleft community all over the world, please visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, lighting up the world with smiles for 25 years.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Cynthia and Ed.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, out of the blue, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn or just stay at the stop sign. She wasn't even really sure where she was at. She was very concerned. It was very unsettling for her.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Back at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, as we get you ready for BYU and Alabama. BYU coach Kevin Young told us during our meeting with him yesterday that this game could become a track meet, so the benches are going to play key roles.
Watching Alabama on film, they sub faster than any team I've seen. I mean, he's throwing guys at the table with like 1 minute into the game. First of all, I'm thinking like guys are going to be pissed if they're coming out after one, but clearly that it's worked for them. But yeah, I think keeping fresh bodies out there will be important for both teams because it probably will be a pretty high-paced game.
Time now for the keys to the game, sponsored by Realtors. Buying a home can be a lot, but with the ethical expertise of a Realtor, you don't have to do it alone. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. All right, Jordan, how do these teams win the game?
Well, starting with this BYU team, Scott, they got to get back in transition. That's a key to probably reign supreme for both teams. But locating the bigs for Bama and their shooters and their bigs running the lane. They also got to contain dribble penetration. Mark Sears, it starts with him. Keeping them out of the paint so he can't spray it to guys on the outside and just knock down shots. That's going to be huge. Meanwhile, for this Bama squad, they have to be disciplined defensively in the half court, most especially defending the pick and roll, because that is where a lion's share of the offense comes from BYU. They like to get you in rotations and matchups and exploit you. And then finally, Bama must rebound. An explosive, efficient offense like BYU's, you cannot give them second goes of it or they can punish you. That could determine the game on both sides, those keys.
Here in the darkened arena with spotlights waving all the way around the indoor area. We'll check the starting lineup, sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. Cougars of BYU out of the Big 12, 26-9 on the year. Their lineup looks this way. Mawut Mag, senior out of Melbourne, Australia, and a transfer from Rutgers, averaging almost 6 points and 2 boards per game. Yegar Dimon. Yegar Dimon is going to have the ball in his hands a lot. A freshman from Moscow, 6'9", 190, averaging 10.5 points and 5.5 assists per game. Keba Keita from Bamako, Mali, junior, 6'9", 229, averaging 7.5 points and 8 rebounds per game. Trevin Nell, a senior out of North Salt Lake, Utah, averages 9 points per game. He's 6'5" and 186. And Richie Saunders, the Big 12's most improved player, junior out of Riverton, Utah, 16 points per game, 25 in the game that sent BYU to the Sweet 16. Head coach is Kevin Young. His first season, more wins than any BYU coach in a first season for him. Alabama Crimson Tide out of the SEC, 27-8 on the year. Their lineup looks this way. LeBaron Philon, freshman, has been dishing assists and doing a lot more since he got into the starting lineup, 10.5 points per game out of Mobile, Alabama. Grant Nelson, grad student out of Devils Lake, North Dakota. Nelson came back from a knee injury to participate more heavily in the second game of the tournament, although he's not 100%, averages 11.5 points and 7.5 boards. Chris Youngblood has been playing very well. Grad student coming by way of Kennesaw State in South Florida, averaging 10 points. He's out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Cliff Omori from Benin City, Nigeria, 8 points, 6.5 rebounds. When he first came over from Nigeria, he moved in a stone's throw from here, about 5 miles away. He averages 8 points and that's 6.5 boards. And, of course, Mark Sears, 204 points in the NCAA tournament, second most among all active players in this tournament. Grad student out of Muscle Shoals, Alabama, 18.5 points, 5 assists per game, although he has struggled from the field here in the tournament. As the lineups have been introduced, we are just about ready to go, and apparently there's now a clock issue because we're not starting with 20 minutes left in the half, but rather with 19:25.
As if these two teams aren't going to be playing fast enough. You can't take time away from us.
Officials are going over it now at the scorer's table. They are Tony Padilla, Bert Smith, and Jeb Hartness tonight. Third meeting between these two schools. First time they've met since 2017. Alabama has won both of those games, including a game at the Barclays Center back in 17. The other meeting was in 1957. When you want to talk about history, take a look at this BYU team here, because they have a historical note next to the basketball program that nobody wants. This is their 32nd NCAA tournament without making a Final Four. That's the most of any team in college basketball.
And those stats are always fascinating, because the players don't feel the pressure of that, but certainly the fan base, who they've traveled here, by the way, BYU, they're very keenly aware of that. They can't wait to see what's about to play out in front of us. And let me tell you what, as an analyst on the radio, I'm going to be hanging out for a lot of this game. You're going to be working, partner, because it's going to be up and down, nonstop with fast-paced basketball.
I'll make up for what I wasn't able to say when I worked with you last year. BYU in the traveling black. Their lettering and their numerals are blue, trimmed in white. Alabama is in the home white with the crimson letters and numerals. Time for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? They offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Kate going to tip things off with Amori as we get ready for what should be an entertaining weekend and what should be 3 competitive basketball games here in Newark, New Jersey. Tony Padilla with the ball in his hands. It's up, and the tip controlled by BYU, moving from our left to our right. Dimon with the ball in his hands. At 6'9", he sees it so well and distributes it even better. Kate on the outside. Now Saunders controls just inside half court. Bounce it far side for Nell. Nell, left of the lane. Shot fake, nothing there. Throws through. And now here's Mag in the lane. Jump stop. Shot up, no good. Tip rebound controlled by Alabama. Nelson quickly into the forecourt. Right in the middle of the floor and driving toward the hole. He gets the first points of the game.
Dimon elects to not pick up Nelson until he's already touched the paint coming across the timeline. And with that momentum, it was too late. Floater goes.
Dimon coming down, driving, kick into the corner. There's a 3 for Mag. That shot no good. Another rebound for Grant Nelson for Alabama.
Mag attempted to stretch out the defense. Challenge.
On the outside, it is Youngblood. Youngblood gets it off to Sears on the left. Left baseline jumper up and good. 4-0 Alabama. Cougars trying to find a rhythm. Off of their first 2 sets. Here's Nell, left side 3. That's good. That'll get you your rhythm. 4-3 ball game.
Sears just lost sight of Nell right there. He's looking for help side defense. Took his foot off the pedal, and he makes him pay. That type of offense out here tonight.
Sears will try to answer from the top. Missing on a 3. Rebound down for Keita. Here comes BYU trying to take the lead. Saunders bounce it to Nell. Right side 3 is off. Fight for the rebound. Tapped into the hands of Phylon. Here he comes into the forecourt, leaving it back behind, taking it again in the right corner. With the dribble still alive. Gets it up on top into the hands of Amori. Now back to Phylon. The freshman to the right elbow with his dribble. In the paint, has it wrestled away. Nell just reached in and stole the ball. And now here comes BYU the other way. Mag along the baseline. Get it into Keita. Little jump hook shot. Crawls over the front of the rim. And BYU takes a 5-4 lead. End-to-end action. Right back at it again is Alabama. Nelson for 3. Too strong, and the rebound down for Mag. BYU runs it into the forecourt, and Mag, all kinds of energy. Driving, dishing. Saunders with the layup with the left hand.
Saunders with the secondary cut. Defense is paying no attention to him. Cut right in front of him. Easy layup on the left side.
7 straight points for BYU in the lead, 7-4. 2.5 minutes in here in Newark. And now an errant pass picked off by Saunders. He's going to drive 3-on-2. Driving down the lane is Nell. Lays it home. It's a 9-0 run for BYU. Back the other way. Nelson on the run. His shot no good. But that is going to end up being goaltending because Cato went up. He hit the backboard and the rim with his hands, and the basket was shaking. So the ball didn't have an opportunity to go in.
Let me just tell you, first 3 minutes of basketball, it's only 9-6 in favor of BYU, but Bama is overwhelmed by the tempo and pace. And Bama is one of the fastest teams in basketball. So much cutting, so much action from BYU. They're struggling to elevate curling.
Jimmy finds Saunders. Little floater of the lane is good from 8 feet away. They missed their first two. Now they can't miss. 11-6 BYU. Sears, top of the circle, wants a three, and he drains it. And shows some emotion as that one falls. He had been 5 for his last 36 from beyond the arc. Now Dimon in the lane. Nothing there. Gets back out to Saunders, and they will finally get into a standard half-court set. Up in the high post, it's Cada. Cada waiting for a cutter, hands it off to Dimon. Three-pointer from the top, no good. And the rebound ripped down by Amori.
Longest offensive possession of the game to this point.
Alabama trying to answer back. Sears trying to get going early. Now finds Youngblood. Right side three is short. Long rebound out for Nell. He fires ahead for Saunders, too far, but Saunders saves it. And now it's back to Mag at the top. Diving down the lane. Caught in the air. Great look. Inside, and a two-fisted jam by Cada.
Mag touch paint, drew 2 defenders. Dunker spot. Cada's waiting. Easy punctuation.
Back the other way, and a three-pointer is good for Phylon. How about this? 13-12, 4 minutes and 15 seconds in. Saunders driving, alley-oop, and an errant pass off Cada's hands. Here's Sears down with the basketball. Alabama can now take the lead. Nelson, however, throws the ball to the second row as he was trying to fire the ball to Youngblood in the corner. The third turnover for the Crimson Tide brings us to a well-needed timeout.
Couple of turnovers from a hurried-up offense from Alabama has created this narrow margin as BYU leads by a point. Partner, you better be ready to defend in the first 10 seconds in these possessions.
Also better be ready to talk tonight. 15:32 left to go here first half. It's BYU 13, Alabama 12. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Science is not an opinion. People come before pipelines. It's not too late to act on climate. No one is above the law. At Earth Justice, we hold these beliefs to be self-evident. As a national legal nonprofit fighting for your right to a healthy environment, we are 150-plus lawyers representing clients free of charge because now, more than ever, the Earth needs a good lawyer. No one fights more cases on the environment than Earth Justice. And we win because these are fights we cannot lose. We win for scientists so they can serve at the EPA. We win at the Supreme Court because clean water is for everyone. We win against fossil fuel plants so communities can breathe freely. If you believe what we believe, then help us fight the good fight and help us keep winning by going to earthjustice.org today. That's earthjustice.org.
Mom, Dad.
Before you throw out those unused medicines, just think for a minute.
Grandma, Grandpa, all you guys take meds. That's why you gotta dispose of your old pills correctly.
Those pills for your back pain or migraines.
When you throw them in the trash, those medicines can become lethal in the wrong hands. Our hands. You may be finished with that medicine,
but those pills are making me real popular at school.
My brother James could think they're candy. Our dog loves to get in the garbage, and those meds can make him sick or worse. So stop. There are better ways to dispose of your unused meds.
There are lots of police stations, local pharmacies, and hospitals that are approved to take in unused meds and dispose of them safely.
Disposal sites are close by.
It's easy, and it's the right thing to do. For us. The ones you love.
To find a medicine disposal site near you, visit www.safe.pharmacy. A public service message from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy.
Let's check each team's tournament resume, sponsored by Monster.com. Monster.com empowers you to score big on your next position and win the job hunt. Get off the bench and go to Monster.com today. Monster.com provides great coaching and millions of job openings. Slam dunk with Monster.com today. BYU got here winners of 11 of their last 12 games. The only game they lost was in the Big 12 tournament semifinals, a 20-point loss to Houston. Told you about Alabama. Began the season second nationally. They fell down to 10, but got all the way back up to number 2 again, winning 15 out of 16.
Let me tell you what, these two teams are both coming in playing great basketball. That's the beauty of it. And both these teams have coaches that lean heavily into analytics and the NBA philosophy. This ball is not sticking. 11 combined made field goals, 9 assists. The ball is floating around. Pressure on the defense doesn't matter. It's elite offense.
13-12 BYU as we come back from the timeout. 15-20 to go till halftime. Cougars with the basketball attacking on our right. Nell, little footer in the lane is good.
Keita, such a sound screener, gives Nell that little curl screen from left to right, mid-post, knocks down the floater.
Nell already has 7 in the game. And we are not quite 5 minutes in. Sears directing traffic now for Alabama, trying to set up a screen. Diabate couldn't quite get it done for him. And now to Holloway, left side 3, it's good. He hit it from 4 steps beyond the arc. Knocks the game up at 15.
3 of 6 from 3. The beyond the arc has been very kind early to the Crimson Tide.
Saunders back the other way, driving into the lane. His shot is good. He went right around Jaron Stevenson, who checked in at the timeout.
And that's the problem. Stevenson wasn't ready to guard. That's a simple attack to closeout, finish at the rim.
Stevenson trying to answer back, runs into the lane as the ball stripped away. Now bodies everywhere. Stevenson at the bottom of the pile with the basketball, and finally Mag ties him up. So that held ball is going to give it back to Arizona. Listen to me, Arizona. I've got the game ahead of myself. Going to give it back to Alabama on the possession arrow.
Stevenson coming into this one. You got to elevate, get the blood moving really quickly because the pace coming off the bench to acclimate is in the snap of a finger. He's not ready to guard. He nearly turns it over there. Now he's got the juices flowing. You better acclimate quickly coming off the bench because of this pace.
This is high energy here in this first half. 17-15, BYU by a bucket. Alabama will inbound, baseline near side with 17 left on the timer. Key in the inbound is Stevenson. Can't get it in. Finally does. Diabate has it down in the left corner. Now he'll drive. Throws to the top. Three-pointer on the way. Sherrill hits it. The big guy at 6'10", and a smooth stroke to put Alabama up by 1. Back the other way in the lane. Dimmitt, turnaround jumper, no good. Sears down with the rebound.
Neither team sending offensive rebounders. Worried about getting back in transition.
Stevenson from the left corner finds Sears. Deep 3 ball is good. He's feeling it right now. He's talking to us. He's talking to everybody. He's got 8 points. His team up by 4.
BYU failed to extend their defense at that 3-point line, and the Crimson Tide punishing them.
Hall was wide open in the lane, threw an air ball, but Keita came in, picked it out of the air, and banked it home.
Keita just rearranging bodies down low with that physical frame of his.
Other way, Holloway, another deep 3. Shots no good. Tipped rebound. Looked like it was controlled by Diabate, but he bounced it on the end line. It's going back to BYU. Later on, we'll select the smart coaching move today. Sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. A lot of substitutions in this game early on, and we expected we would see that. Trey Stewart has come to the ball game now for BYU. And it is Dallin Hall bringing it across for the Cougars. He and Stewart playing catch in the backcourt. Up on top, Traore, who's now into the ball game as well, gets it back to Hall, driving in the lane, in traffic, lost the handle, lost the basketball. All right, he's had 2 looks offensively. One was an air ball from 8 feet, and the other was kicking the ball over the sideline for the second BYU turnover.
And it was just simply too much dribbling. If you don't have that initial move, those NBA ideals, read and react. You don't have anything on the initial drive, move it. Move it to the next guy to see if you can attack. All too much dribbling, and ultimately kicks it off his own knee and it rolls out of bounds. That's an unforced error.
21-19, Alabama on top with the basketball as we come up on 13 minutes left to go here in the first half. Crimson Tide 8 for 12 from the floor.
Zone look, 2-3 look from BYU defensively.
How do you break that? Sears nails a 3 just right at the top of the circle. He's got 11 points.
Zone defense, man-to-man. Either way, BYU need to extend the defense.
Saunders, little runner in the lane, no good. He got his own rebound. In among the trees, dishes off, and Traore is fouled on the way up. Scott Graham, Jordan Cornett here at our Granger broadcast position in Newark. Winning teams know the value of a good 6-man. Count on Granger to give your business a boost off the bench. Call or click Granger.com for over 1 million industrial-grade supplies.
Look, with these elite offenses, we said it coming in, you cannot give these efficient offenses second chances. BYU 2 times down now has earned the second chance opportunities, which is propelling them.
Foul call was on Sherrill, his first foul of the game. Traore hits on the first. He's a good free throw shooter, almost 82% on the year from the line.
So fun in this game. You know it's going to stay with this high pace because these two teams and their identity, they tap deep into that bench that you mentioned, Scott. So it's not going to take a tick down and become a slow operate in the half-court setting no matter how far into the game we go. These guys play at this pace for 40 minutes.
How about each team has already played 9 players?
Yeah, and all 9 guys are a factor on the floor. Shot makers, creators, guys that can operate in isolation. Everybody out here has an elite floor game.
Not sure what the delay is, but Traore finally gets the ball back. And his second free throw is good. Couldn't ice him. He hits a pair. 24-21 Alabama. 12:40 to go till halftime as the Crimson Tide bring it across. This is Holloway around the screen up on top. They try that blitz, and Traore's going to get called for the foul. That's his first, team's first.
Aiden Holloway did exactly what you're supposed to. Keep your dribble alive, retreat dribble to the point where you can find a way to deliver via airspace a pass to one of your guys for a look. And they ended up fouling. That's sound ball handling against the pressure.
Aiden Holloway played well last weekend. He was one of the 6 players in double figures as they beat New Mexico in a round of 32. Here's Stevenson. Handing back behind to Sears, the bread truck. Back to Holloway at 3. Too strong. Long rebound out. Covered by Youngblood for Alabama. A fresh 20 seconds to shoot as Holloway holds again. Gets it to Sherrill, left of the lane. Back to Youngblood. Squares, fires, and missed badly on a 3. Tap rebound belongs to Trey Stewart for BYU. Cougars into the forecourt now. Boscovich is into the ball game for BYU. Trying to set a screen. Here's Hall now. Driving into the lane. Jump stop, nothing there. In some trouble. Bounces it low. Traore, reverse lay-in is good. He just bailed his teammate out. Got it in a bad spot and made a good shot.
And it was almost like a pocket pass from Hall to Traore. Traore never stopped working on that low block, carving out real estate to get that pass and go up and finish.
Bama by a point. Here's Stevenson, left side 3. That's too strong. Rebound down and covered by Dallin Hall. He trots it across half court. Crossover dribble. Oh, sorry, that's Baker. And Baker's shot is up. That's no good. It tickled the rim and fell away. Dawson Baker, yet another BYU Cougar in this ballgame. Alabama down with the basketball. Holloway, 3 from the right corner is good. He is feeling it right now, whether it's going or not. He's shooting 27-23.
Stevenson set that one up with a drive and kick to open up Holloway for the look.
Trying for the answer on the 3, and the shot from Hall is no good. But BYU corrals the offensive rebound, and they'll get another set.
It's the first time we've slowed down in a half-court setting.
Alabama 7 for 14 from 3. Baker misses on a 3 for BYU, and the rebound, tap back, and it's good. And you're going to get an opportunity at a 3-point play. Traore is the guy working hard on the inside. Got that putback, and he got Stevenson on his back. That's Stevenson's second foul.
And in that 4 minutes of basketball, 4 offensive rebounds has translated to 6 second chance points for BYU. Starting to establish themselves on the backboard offensively.
Timeout on the court. Catch your breath. 10:43 to go here first half. It's Alabama 27, BYU 25. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes.
And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet. And we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place.
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business.
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Time for the Coles Fact of the Game. Only major conference teams to lead the country in scoring in back-to-back seasons. It's happened 3 times. Alabama the last 2 years, Arizona 2002 through 04, and Duke 1998 through 2000. Oh, by the way, those 2 teams are waiting in the wings for Game 2. That's a Fact of the Game sponsored by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion. We shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Alabama has already put up 14 three-pointers, 17 shots in all. We're staring at the century mark on both sides right now.
So then what do you think Coach Young's saying in his huddle to his guys defensively? Whether we're in a 2-3 zone because we switch our defenses or we're in a man, extend out to the NBA depth from beyond the arc because they're going to let them fly. We need to contest and go. BYU, like you said, Scott, vulnerability with this Alabama team, interior defense. BYU starting to flex their muscle in the painted area.
They've got 18 points in the paint as Traore hits on the free throw to cap off a 3-point play. Alabama 27, BYU 26.
As if this one wasn't fast enough, little light full court pressure from BYU here.
Turn it up a notch. Alabama breaking that trapping pressure, and now the shot from the top is no good for Darian Reed. Rebound down to BYU. Here comes Dawson Baker. Throwing it out far side, and the ball flicked over the sideline, actually off the head of one of the officials by Feinlawn. And BYU will have a sideline inbound.
Scott, I give both teams a lot of credit. They've done a fantastic job getting back to the transition defense, taking away fast break opportunity.
They are moving. Traore hands back behind for Baker. In between the circles, Baker taking a long look at it. And now he's going to go against the big guy. Baker steps back, fires across to Hall. Hall driving in the lane. Dishes it off. Shot no good for Boskovic. And back down with the rebound come the Crimson Tide. Stepping into a 3. Feinlawn banks it home. How about that? He hit a bank shot from the right wing for 3.
And the reason he banked it is because there's some contact on the release from beyond the arc. Goes an Oakland.
Hall trying to throw back behind as the ball knocked away from him by Diabate. The BYU holds the possession. Traore now backing inside. Going to work on Grant Nelson. His shot up, no good. Rebound down for Reed for Alabama. Crimson Tide by 4 with the basketball. Reed driving, shot up, no good, and he traveled. He was trying to draw contact. Instead, he drew the 4th Alabama turnover.
High-level anticipation defensively from Traore. He knew he was going to lower the boom and attack him, and he just stood there, kept his feet set, and let the offensive momentum do the work to earn the whistle.
Later on, we'll select the play of the day, sponsored by Old Spice. Stinking places beyond your pits. Old Spice has you covered with total body deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to toes with daily use. By the way, we're in the home of the New Jersey Devils, so a hockey line change substitution is basically how this is going. BYU just did it. Here's Baker driving to the foul line, trying to dish, ball slipped away. Amori got a hand on it, and now on the steal, a thunderous jam from Grant Nelson at the other end.
Haven't seen many mistakes with the basketball, but they try to go to the dive guy, and it's a turnover, which allows a run out, a rim run for Grant Nelson, and what a one-handed stick
Biggest lead of the game right now by 6 is Alabama. Driving, Baker on the baseline. Pretty bounce pass down low, and Kata lays it home.
Baker baseline drive brings 2 defenders. Dump down, quick release from Kata to not allow the shot blocker Amori to come into effect.
Nelson from the right corner. 3-pointer is short. They got an offensive rebound. It was Reed pulling it down. And Boskovic is going to get called for a foul on the rebound.
Very savvy from Reed. Maybe got away with a push-off in the back to allow himself an offensive rebounding opportunity. But because he was so savvy with the nudge, officials didn't see it, put him in pristine position for an offensive rebounding opportunity, and a whistle going his way.
The winner goes to the Elite Eight here on Saturday. Right now it's Alabama 32, BYU 28. Inbound, and a shot up and no good for Nelson. Rebound taken down on the floor and off the floor, and now you got a scrum and a held ball that's going back the other way to BYU. Tell you what, Amori's been on 2 of those now.
He's got such a long wingspan. The ball seems like it's no way he's going to get to it, and then he just extends, and you go, oh, that's why he's such an elite rim protector and rebounder. Just keeps on stretching with those long arms, which, by the way, are very well defined. Him as a defensive end, an edge guy in the league, a tight end in the league, this guy's a supreme athlete.
6'11's big for either of those positions.
Yeah, with arms like that, shoulders like that, absolutely.
But why not? Antonio Gates started the whole thing. Here's Saunders on the left side, foul line extended. Phylon cuts him off and chases him all the way back to the top. Now Saunders around to the right side. Still with the basketball. Throws to Mag on the top. Mag driving, and he got fouled on the floor. He was driving in the hole, ended up getting hit by Phylon on his way in. And that personal foul will be Phylon's first.
Phylon was lacking discipline on the closeout and let his momentum to go into Mag. And Mag, who's played a lot of basketball, knew he had the advantage and just drove it right into the shifty defender to earn a whistle out of bounds under for the Cougars.
13th foul for Alabama, and Crimson Tide will take an opportunity here to get a substitution. Phylon leaving. Jaron Stevenson returns to the ball game. Inbound for Kata. Back to the top they go, and now Saunders right there for a lay-in on a pretty feed, and a quick one from Yegor Devitt.
Miscommunication defensively allows Saunders just to slip right in the mid-post area, catch a finish.
32-30, Alabama by 2. Sears wants another 3. He got another 3. He found his touch just at the right time. Mark Sears has 14 points. Back the other way, Mag driving in traffic, and he traveled. Oh, goodness. There's not time to document everything that's happening out there. Good news is we've reached another timeout on the floor. 7:37 to go here, first half of play. It is Alabama 35, BYU 30. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interest first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Something amazing is happening in workplaces everywhere. Devices are learning how people work and adapting to help them get more done. That's because CDW is modernizing experiences with Dell's intelligent portfolio of devices. Thanks to built-in security and AI capabilities, your teams can work smarter wherever they may be. Dell and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
35-30 Alabama by 5 with 7:37 to go till halftime. Check the schedule of tournament games coming up on Westwood One, sponsored by the 2027 X15 engine from Cummins. Featuring better fuel efficiency, immense power, and backed by 25 plus years of experience, the 2027 X15 is built to rise above the challenges of tomorrow. The X15, forever rising. Still to come here in Newark when this one is done, the other Sweet 16 game between the 4 seed in the East, Arizona, and the number 1 seed in Duke. Jordan, Alabama was 14th in the country in three-pointers per game this year. They had 6 in the first round, 7 in the second round. BYU was 10th. They were the best in the Big 12. They had one game this year where they had 18 made three-pointers. Right now they've got 1.
And they take 29 a game. And right now they've only taken 6. Now, is it because BYU feels like they have the advantage in a vulnerable Alabama interior defense? Or is it Alabama saying, hey, we'll allow you anything inside the arc. We're just not going to let you beat us with 3. So how that chess match plays out will be interesting. But one thing for certain, we talked about BYU gave up 37 points to John Tonje last round. Mark Sears is playing towards 40 in this game, so they better lock in with a red awareness of him offensively.
We come back to play now. Alabama basketball attacking on our left. We're in the home white with the crimson trim. All in the heads.
Back in that 2-3 zone, partner.
There's Holloway trying to penetrate, kicks back outside. Youngblood a 3, off the rim, no good. Tip rebound belongs to Nell for BYU. Cougars in the traveling black with the blue numerals and lettering. Nell, left side 3, way too strong. The rebound down on the floor. There's a fight for it, and I think they're going to call held ball, even though it never really got held. But the ball's going to belong to Alabama. Third time they've used the possession arrow here in the first half.
Now, here's a problem I have with the Nell 3 from the wing. He had Amori defending him at 6'11". You have that quick twitch ability and an advantage with the basketball to get a better look. Get him on his heels, maybe a blow-by drive. Settlement of the highest order taking that 3, and you miss badly.
Here comes Sears. Trots it across half court on the far side, setting up a screen. Coming around to the top, nothing there. Back to Youngblood. Deep three-pointer. And that one is good. They're not shooting college threes. They're shooting NBA threes. 10 three-pointer made in the game and an 8-point lead for Alabama. Dimon inside, bouncing it off the backboard, the rim, and it falls through for Yegor Dimon.
How about the touch from Dimon? Stops on a dime from 10 feet. Kisses it softly off the glass.
Nelson playing catch on the far side of the floor, goes cross-court with a pass for Youngblood. And trying to make the interception on the play was Trevin Nell. He's going to get called for the foul, and he is slow to get up right now.
Nell was going to make a play on the basketball, didn't even see Youngblood, and he caught an elbow directly to the face as he tried to intercept that pass. And kind of surprised BYU's training sets. Taking so long to get out to him. That was a very serious collision.
Yeah, the officials, Bert Smith standing there, just waved the trainer out. And Nell right now is bleeding from what appears to be his nose from what we can see directly onto the floor. So this is going to take a little time right now. That was literally exactly how you called it, partner. He was going for the ball. When he turned his head and didn't get the ball, what he found was an elbow literally right to the face.
And Chris Youngblood is 6'4", 223 pounds of thick muscle. And to collide with him, like Trevin Nell did, I'm glad they're not going to the monitors because it was something at the face, but it was so clear that neither guy was aware the other one was even around. So intent is immediately wiped from this. You just hope Nell's okay because we got to look at a replay. And, boy, that was an ugly collision, that elbow to the face.
He is not raising his head as he stands up. They're applying pressure to his nose, which is where the blood clearly was coming from. They've got a timeout on the court. We'll take one as well. Our score, Alabama 38, BYU 32. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
It's time for basketball, and right now, Uber Eats has deals on Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Get game day deals now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Monster.com helps you slam dunk the job search and make your next career move. With great coaching and millions of job openings, Monster.com empowers you to score your next position and win the job hunt. Get off the bench and go to Monster.com today.
Trevin Nell makes his way to the sideline as he has come back out of the game. And Alabama inbounds now with the basketball. It is Sears, head of the circle. Bama by 6, 38-32. Long three-pointer is up and no good for Holloway. And this time the rebound for Saunders in BYU. He hasn't gotten going yet. Driving into the lane, jump stop. Nothing there. Now a backdoor cut for Mag. And Mag had it knocked out of his hands over the end line. They say it last touched Alabama. And BYU is going to keep it.
Mag's refusing to go down and defend. He's saying it's staying here, but the officials have bad news for him.
Jeb Hartness just came in and overruled Tony Padilla, who might have been screened on the play. We're going to look at the replay, and that ball clearly was out. If it was out, it was off Mag. I'm not sure it ever went over the end line.
I thought it stayed in regulation as well.
So here's Alabama after the turnover. 5:45 to go till halftime. Sears working near side, right-hand dribble. Takes it down now the left side of the lane. Up and under the basket, throws back out. Holloway, long three, missed it badly. Long rebound, covered by Alabama. Diabate gets it to Sears for a three. That's good from the right side. Oh, my goodness. He's got 17 here in the first half. 41-32, biggest lead of the game. And now BYU is going to have to get something going in these final 5 minutes. Alabama's trying to run away from BYU. Dimmitt along the outside, drives into the lane, got his man in the air beautifully, and banks it home. That's a heck of a move.
Dimmitt is so cerebral on his probing dribble drives, and he always keeps the pivot and has an array of head fakes to get that defender in a vulnerable spot to kiss it off the glass.
Alabama wants a three again, and Youngblood nails it from the right corner. It is raining down here in Newark. 12 three-pointers for the Crimson Tide. Dimmitt tries to answer back, and his three-pointer barely touches the net before bouncing over the end line. It goes back to Bama.
Just an incredible shooting display from this Bama team.
The official NCAA ticket exchange, the only NCAA-approved place to buy and sell authentic, 100% guaranteed Final Four tickets with other fans. Visit the official NCAA ticket exchange today at ncaa.com/exchange. Alabama's made more three-pointers in the first half than any team in the tournament to this point, 12 of them. They've got a 10-point lead, and they've got the basketball with 4:25 to go till halftime. Phylon up on top. Get it off for Nilsson on the near side. Now skip pass back to Phylon right at the top of the circle. For Sears, he wants a three. That one won't go, but the tip follow goes, and they say no, they're waving it off. Nelson thought he had a three-point play opportunity, but he's going to get called for the foul to get the position for the tip-in.
Yeah, Nelson went in there trying to rearrange bodies with his left arm, kind of tugging at one. You almost could have looked at a hook and hold, but he disengaged in enough time for them to not go to the clock. But he seamlessly tipped it in. Problem is the illegal contact with that left arm. Offensive foul on a rebound.
Saunders dribbling around the top of the circle. Nice change of direction. Reverse lay-in is good. That's how Saunders averaged more than 16 points for the year. He's got 10. Back the other way. Now they're closing on three-point shooters, but not Nelson. His three-point shot no good. Saunders a rebound. BYU trying to get some momentum. Cannon Catchings now in the game for them. And you can get a reach-in foul. It's going to be on Diabate up at the top of the circle. His first. The ball will go back to BYU when we come back. The Alabama Crimson Tide taking on an entirely different look, which is a team that's looking three-pointer first. And it looks awfully good here in this first half. 3:40 to go, first half of play. It's Alabama 44, BYU 36. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Spring has sprung, and so have the deals at Kohl's Spring Savings Event. I just got a comfy tee for just $7.99, a cute swimsuit for $19.99, 40% off patio furniture for my backyard, and so much more. So don't wait. These deals are too good to miss. Hurry over to Kohl's to save big on warm weather essentials during their Spring Savings Event today. Select styles. Offers on March 30th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
With Marriott Bonvoy, take your game day rituals on the road. No matter how you show your team spirit, find a stay for your style when you explore our entire world of hotel brands and experiences. Marriott Bonvoy has a brand for every kind of fan. Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Explore more at marriottbonvoy.com/NCAA.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more. This doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
You can listen to the live stream of every remaining game of both the men's and women's tournaments on the Westwood One Sports app, westwoodonesports.com. Sponsored by Masa Chips, classic tortilla chips fried in 100% grass-fed beef tallow. No seed oils, no fake ingredients, just real crunch. Code MM30 gets you 30% off your first order at masachips.com. Alabama by 8, 44-36. We've got 3:40 to go here till halftime.
It's a simple rule of math that threes are better than twos. 26 shots taken from Alabama beyond the arc, 31 total shots in the game. Everything but 5 of them coming from there, and they're shooting 46%. BYU's getting twos. Bama's bombing them with threes.
Saunders thinks about a 3 of his own as we come back. Missed it badly. Rebound down and ripped off the board by Amori, who is fouled. Foul call goes on Trey Stewart. And Alabama, on Stewart's first foul, will get it back at the 3:27 mark.
There was a belief that the three-point line could define this game. Some people said that's lazy analysis. There's other parts. No. This game is being currently decided by the three-point line. Plus 11 in three-pointers made for Alabama is absolutely the story in the first 17 minutes.
Bylaw brings it down, tries an alley-oop, and a foul as Amori tried to dunk that home. He's going to go to the free throw line. And that'll be team foul number 5 for BYU. Both teams with 5, but neither team in the bonuses yet. Cliff Amori's going to shoot 2.
I love the adjustment from Oates and his group coming out of the timeout, understanding they're so hot from 3. Get a pick and roll with your broad-shouldered screener and Amori. They're going to blitz the shooter. That'll allow you as a dive guy to get a look, and that's absolutely what transpires.
Amori's first free throw, first for Alabama tonight, is good. Robinhood Gold gets you 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Amori from Nigeria moved to New Jersey at age 14 as he hits on the shot. Went to Queen of Peace High School. Who do you know that was baptized at Queen of Peace?
Guy I'm working with.
That's correct.
Hey, what do I win?
Nothing.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Alley-oop is overthrown for Keita. That pass turns into the 6th turnover as Dallin Hall just threw it too tall for Keita. That's doing something because he's 6'9" with a big reach.
And for a BYU team that's still shooting very well from the field at 52%, but ice cold from 3, 1 of 9. Turnovers take you further out of a rhythm as those numbers start to plummet even more.
Alabama a chance to take control of this game entirely before halftime as we're under 3 minutes to go. BYU closing quicker now on the three-point line. So taking it inside, Stevenson. Stevenson in the crowd, throws for the 3 up top. And now Phylon into the lane, 5 left to shoot, trying to throw back out again. They're not letting him. Youngblood picks it up, throws far side, and it's stolen away by Saunders. Coming down 2-on-1. Alley-oop jammed home by Kenan Catchings. 46-38, back to within 8 points. Sears right back down the floor, runs into a brick wall, no foul call, and the shot never made the rim. Saunders slides it ahead. Catchings wants a 3. It's an air ball. And now we get contact on the rebound and a foul call on Keita.
100% they're going to be going to the monitor on this one from Keita. I believe this is a frustration foul where Keita came across the face of Youngblood. It appeared to me at first glance it was a non-basketball play. They're going to look at this, and this should result in a flagrant. Although, now seeing the replay, Youngblood, too, went at the face of Keita. Keita retaliated by going to the face of Youngblood. It's going to be really interesting how they handle this, but you might see nothing, or you might see a couple flagrants dealt out here.
And they were swiping at each other with their eyes, each of them trained on the basketball. So that makes it an even tougher call for the officials who now go over to look this one over. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships. Scott Graham, Jordan Cornette here at our Granger broadcast position in Newark. When you need products in a pinch, Granger offers same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. Click Granger.com or stop by for industrial-grade supplies for your business. Now, what they're looking at here in this 46-38 game with Alabama on top is if indeed it was a flagrant foul. That would be excessive in nature, unnecessary contact, but not based on severity. Flagrant 2 is severe and extreme. I don't think you're going to see that here.
Now, I tend to see on a replay a swipe at the basketball and Youngblood inadvertently gets Keita in the face. But what I see from Keita, by my estimation, was that was a play that was not at the basketball, but coming across the face of Youngblood. Now, I think because it was bang, bang, even looking at the replay, they might say, let's play on, given the style of the game, which I would have no problem with. But if anybody's going to be penalized here, I think it'll be Keita.
Oh, we haven't seen, as we said, a lot of fouls called here. You played almost 18 minutes. Neither team is in the bonus. And it has been pretty physical. They have let them play in the first half. We've gotten a lot of looks at it from right under the basket at that contact.
And I just don't feel overcome with emotion that anybody should be penalized. And again, Scott, like you said, this game has been officiated in a way they've let them play. You hate to see the game stopped here and slowed down in the final 2 minutes of what's been a fast first half. I don't think anything's there.
It's going to be a flagrant 1.
The call on the floor has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. White number 8 will shoot 2 free throws. White ball out of bounds end line.
So,
just what I thought. If it was going to go one way, it was going to go on Keita.
So Youngblood's going to go shoot 2, and then Alabama will get the ball back, leading it by 8. Chris Youngblood to the line right now. On the night, 6 points for Youngblood. With what else? A pair of 3-pointers. It's a 79% free throw shooter. Takes a long look at it, standing by his lonesome on the basket to our left and drills the free throw. He came into the game 8 for 16 3-point shooting over his last 3 games. He had been one of the guys who'd been hot. Alabama had not been. But they turned it up a notch over the course of the first 12 or so minutes of this game. Youngblood's second is up. That's good. He's got 8. And Alabama with a 10-point lead gets the basketball back. Length of the floor to go with 2:11 left here in the first half.
Scott, 2:11 in the first half certainly seems like an inflection point in this game. With BYU starting to apply some pressure, starting to get momentum, it feels like it might have been shifting. Then you get a flagrant 1 from your big who goes to the bench. You get 2 easy points for Bama to extend this to a double-figure lead. And now they have the basketball looking to build even more.
Holloway steps into a 3-pointer from the top, rings out, Catchings down with a rebound, uncontested for BYU. Cougars into the forecourt. It's Saunders, far side, Catchings a 3. That one is short. He's missed both of his 3-point attempts. And Alabama down with the rebound. Sears, hesitation, dribble. Look at Amori diving down the lane, jamming it home for Alabama's biggest lead.
Putting Sears in the ball screens puts such a problem posed to BYU defensively. He's so hot for three, you got to blitz him. That leaves the dive guy, the uber athlete of Amori, wide open for dunk finishes.
And now on a dribble handoff up along the top, Youngblood's going to get called for a foul, hanging on to Richie Saunders. That will be his first and Alabama's sixth. So still no free throws coming from that. An inbound coming with 1:29 left here in the half.
Let me tell you, Scott, you're going to see a healthy dose of ball screens for Sears coming from Amori, because that defense is going to have to blitz Sears. How red hot he is, time and time again, the dive guy in Amori is going to have dunk finish after dunk finish. Which one is the lesser of two evils? They're going to elect to take away the three, and they're going to be so vulnerable with those twos moving forward in this game. BYU is stuck in a tough position right now.
Trey Stewart back in, keys the inbound, $1:29 go in the half. Dimmitt up on the top of the circle, lost his footing, nearly the ball, but got it back again, and now on a give and go, he did lose the ball. It bounced up too high on him. Alabama took it away. A seventh turnover for BYU. Back the other way, it's Nelson behind the back with a dribble on the right side. Gets it to Sears, they close on him, so he drives into the paint, throws through, near side. Driving in, they kick back out again. Sears couldn't handle the pass and has his pocket picked by Saunders. And now Diabate is going to get called for a reach-in foul. That's going to put Saunders on the line for a 1-and-1. That's Diabate's second.
Heck of an effort from Saunders as Sears reaches down to pick up a mishandled basketball at nearly the timeline. Saunders just powers through, takes it away, and keeps a dribble alive to take him going that way. And Alabama, all they can do is foul. Because of that bonus, Saunders has a chance to chip away at this deficit of 12 points with under a minute left with the clock stopped.
He's touching above his left eye. Looks like he took a shot there, which is where he got fouled. But Saunders to the free throw line. He's got 10 points. This is his first trip to the foul line. 1-and-1 opportunity for an 83% shooter. Shot is up. Shot is good. You can hear every remaining moment of the NCAA men's and women's tournament on Alexa. Just ask your device to open Westwood One Sports. You'll be able to listen to all the action wherever you are. That's open Westwood One Sports to listen on Alexa. Saunders hits the second, so we've got a 10-point game again. 50-40 Alabama. Crimson Tide with the basketball, under a minute to play here in the first half. Holloway driving right baseline, trying to throw to the top, throws it away. Dimmitt got a steal. Jump stop, throw through far side for Stewart. And now the trailer, three-point attempt, no good for Dallin Hall, but another BYU offensive rebound. Hall up on top, leaves it back behind. Here comes Boscovich, and now BYU's going to take it back to the top and reset. Hall feeds it off to Boscovich. 3 left to shoot. He's got to go. Turnaround shot up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and that's going to be a foul call on Saunders. Trying to get that offensive rebound. He took the Alabama player and basically just threw him out of the way like a rag doll. That's going to get you every time.
Yeah, and it's just a frustration play from Saunders, who knows better, a high IQ guy. It was a heck of a block out from Holloway. I mean, he removed him from any ability to get an offensive board, and rather than get back and guard and play for another possession, a frustration move from Saunders, and now Holloway goes to the free throw line to Bill.
BYU is 1 for 12 from beyond the arc. 39% of their points this year have come from three-point land. You're hoping, if you're a BYU fan, that things are going to turn after halftime. Here's Holloway. Free throw is up, and the first end of the 1-and-1 is good. Holloway's got 7, a couple of three-pointers. He's also missed 5 of them. He did help set the tone, though, with 2 long threes early in this game. 20.3 left to go in the half as Holloway spins the basketball, fires, and misses short. And the rebound down to BYU. They can hold for 1 now, down 11, and they're going to take the use it or lose it timeout to set up what they're doing offensively. Timeout on the floor with 17 seconds to go till halftime. Alabama leads it 51-40. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Spring Savings at AutoZone.
Glad to be here. I need to spring save on an oil change.
Right now, you can get an STP Extended Life Oil Filter with 5 quarts of Mobil 1 Advanced for just $35.99.
What if I need to spring save on a high mileage motor oil?
Our spring savings include Mobile One Advanced High Mileage.
And the oil filter?
And the oil filter. All for just $35.99. It's part of spring savings at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents in the DQ app, you might just feel like you're dreaming. 85-cent Blizzard treats. Trust us when we say you're not. But get to DQ quickly, because this dream is only a reality for so long. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. For a limited time at participating locations. Terms apply.
Fresh finds and fresh savings. That's SpringFest at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery when you buy a Select Ego trimmer, blower, or mower. Plus, get up to 20% off Select Scott's Turf Builder grass seed. Shop these spring deals and more for all your lawn care needs. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. Excludes Alaska.
Alabama 51, BYU 40, 17.8 left to go in the first half. Check some of the numbers, sponsored by GoodRx. Check GoodRx for simple, smart savings on weight loss medications and other prescriptions at GoodRx.com. BYU's missed their last 10 three-pointers. They're 1 for 12 on the night. They've got 28 points in the paint, but Alabama's got 33 points from three-point range, hence the 11-point lead for the Crimson Tide.
Worth noting, and it's good for BYU fans listening, Trevin Nell has returned to this game as some sort of, you're better with this one than I, a stuffing of some sort in his nose.
I think you described it perfectly. They have stuffed something in there.
Yeah, to keep that thing so he can get out there and play. Maybe he can activate them as he shoots the best percentage from beyond the arc. Got to imagine Richie Saunders touches the basketball here. He's been a lighthouse in the first half.
Allen Hall walks it across half court. 8 seconds to go in the half. They hand it back off again. Dimon throwing far side. And three-point attempt for Nell is blocked. Alabama down with the basketball. Nelson throws it the length of the floor. No chance there, but a defensive stop and a little bit more momentum for the Crimson Tide as we've reached the end of the first half.
Grant Nelson defending the baseline three. Shades of Hakeem Warwick in 2003, icing the championship for Syracuse from that Mike Lee three-point shot from the wing. What an effort on the three-point line defensively from Alabama. Grant Nelson's effort highly illustrates what they've done on that side. An incredible moment that gives them even more momentum heading to the break, this Alabama Crimson Tide team.
We have reached halftime where our score is Alabama 51, BYU 40. When we return, we're going to head back to our Straight Talk Wireless studios for the halftime report. Need more data so you can stream your Jam Mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA radio network.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Pluto TV has all the shows and movies you love streaming for free. Feel the free with all your favorites. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Tracker, The Walking Dead, Defiance, and more. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets.
The story in the first half in Newark, New Jersey, 3-point shooting. Alabama 12 of 27, BYU 1 of 13. The Crimson Tide up on the Cougars at the break, 51-40. Welcome to the Straight Talk Wireless Studios here in Los Angeles. I'm Brad Heller. Need more data so you can stream your Jam Mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Game number 2 in Newark will be the top seed in the East, Duke, and the 4-seed Arizona, a rematch of a November game in Tucson, won by the Blue Devils, 69-55 behind 24 points from Cooper Flagg. Believe it or not, this will be the first Sweet 16 matchup since 1991, featuring two teams averaging 90 points a game in the tournament. Arizona held off former Pac-12 rival Oregon in round 2 after falling behind 19-4 in the opening minutes. Meanwhile, Duke has been completely dominant so far, outscoring Mount St. Mary's and Baylor by a combined 67 points. The Blue Devils are the first team to lead all Sweet 16 teams in points scored and points allowed. Maybe the only thing more impressive than that, head coach John Shire's nickname while growing up in Chicago, White Mike. Here's Coach Shire with our Jordan Cornette.
Having been a player who's won a championship, you know what it takes to string together 6 to get it done. When you look at your guys who are discovering who White Mike is and the legend of you as a coach, I had to mention it. What do you take from knowing what it takes as a player and trying to instill in these guys like, hey, we've got a lot still in front of us to do what we want to do this season?
I think the magic in it all is with the noise and the attention the tournament gets, which is amazing. How can you block it out and focus on what's right in front of you? And so we've had a saying, just finish what's right in front of you. And that can mean the next game. That can mean the next possession. Just finish what's right in front of you. And then the next opportunity will be there, and then you attack the next opportunity. So for us, really being locked in on each moment, each opportunity, and then you do it again. And then hopefully you do that 6 times, and you got a special thing going.
A tremendous talent, Cooper Flagg, goes without saying. A sublime season. He's still got more in front of him, and a ton after that on the collegiate level in front of him. For those that aren't behind closed doors with you guys, we see the incredible talent on the floor. What has surprised you most about this transcendental talent?
You know what? I think the thing that surprised me the most about Cooper, he's got incredible energy. You know, like when you're in a room with him, he was, well, I'll take a step back in the recruiting process. He hardly spoke. You know, you're wondering, what is this guy thinking? And he's could be a poker player, you know, and then he gets to us. In his leadership right away, Jordan, you know, he's has amazing energy, always picking up his teammates, knows when to say things, how to say them, to really pick up everybody else around him. And that to me is a special quality that you have to have great feel for and compassion to understand those things.
You look back to that matchup where you guys made a strong statement, and what wasn't even your best game in late November, going out there to Arizona and knocking them off. A rematch tonight. You guys aren't the same teams. My question to you is, Coach, how are you guys different? How have you evolved from that win on the road in late November, which seems like so long ago?
Yeah, it does seem like a long time ago. I think personnel-wise, you know, Sion has emerged as a really key guy for us. Pat Gongba didn't even play in that game. Isaiah did not play in that game. So I think that's the first thing. And then just I'm watching it back, man, how slow we were playing. You know, I just felt like we were moving in mud that game. And I'm sure Tommy would say the same for his guys. And so I think we have such a better we're way more connected on offense. I think defensively we have our habits a lot better, but along those lines, they're better on both ends too. So I think both teams are different, but the thing that's similar is two really proud programs. Both expect to win. Both are tough and physical, and it's going to be a great game.
Coach John Shire, big one here with a berth to the Elite Eight on the line. Coach, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this evening.
Jordan, thank you.
Halftime game 1 in Newark. Alabama leads BYU 51-40. Coming up, we'll check in on Florida and Maryland. The Terps have come to play out in San Francisco. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
Brett Helder with you in our Westwood One studios. Alabama, the 2 seed in the East, leading the 6 seed BYU 51-40 at halftime. Let's check the tournament scoreboard, sponsored by MaintainX. MaintainX is the asset and maintenance app that brings your unplanned downtime to zero. Try for free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain and the letter x.com/MVP. West Regional semifinals, the 1 seed Florida, the 4 seed Maryland. The Gators, an 11-0 run to take an 11-point lead, but Maryland has bounced right back.
Maryland ball out of the timeout. Here's Queen. Lob it over to Gillespie, high on the right side. Gillespie holds the ball, dribbling left, step back beyond the three-point arc. He'll launch a 3, top of the key, splashed it in. The third 3 for Jacoby Gillespie. He's got 11 in the first half, 24-22 Florida.
Ryan Radke on the call. Gillespie has 13, and Florida's actually gone back in front 31-30. They're at the 4-minute timeout in the first half. You can hear it on the Westwood One Sports app, also on all Alexa-enabled devices. One injury note for Florida. Alex Condon rolled his ankle in that first half, hobbled on the court. No word if he's going to return. All that speculation around Maryland head coach Kevin Willard about his future, but so far the Terps have come to play a 1-point game. Gators up 1, 31-30 at the 4-minute mark in the first half. Game number 2 in San Francisco. It's going to be the 3 seed Texas Tech and the 10 seed Arkansas. John Calipari's Razorbacks certainly relishing the underdog role.
It's going to be a really hard game for us. But you know what? My kids, they've come through the fire. My guess is, other than a fan of Arkansas, no one's picking us to win the game. But the great news in this tournament, you got to play the games. You got to play them. You know, I'll tell the kids I'm going to do my best for 40 minutes to give you everything I have. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes I'm not as good, but we'll see.
Of course, Boogie Fland returning for Arkansas, coming off the thumb surgery. He returned in the first 2 rounds. And then even better news for the Razorbacks, Adu Thero, their leading scorer, expected back tonight. He's missed the last 8 games because of a knee injury. Arkansas and Texas Tech, that is game number 2, the 3 seed and the 10 seed out in the West region. Of course, you heard from John Shire earlier in this halftime, Duke and Arizona, game number 2 in Newark. Game number 1 at the half, Mark Sears, 17 points. Alabama up on BYU, 51-40. We'll take a break. Scott Graham and Jordan Cornette, they'll be back with you on the other side from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
Most people think child abuse is a bad parent problem.
Actually, the root causes may be different than you think.
Let us explain. Affordable housing for everyone.
That prevents child abuse.
and access to healthcare in every community.
Prevents child abuse too. High quality, affordable child care.
Paid family leave.
School breakfast and lunch programs.
All of this prevents child abuse.
It's all about keeping families out of crisis in the first place.
At least 1 in 7 children in the United States have experienced abuse or neglect in the past year. Prevent Child Abuse America promotes policies, programs, and resources informed by science that help communities, parents, and kids thrive.
Because when we keep families out of crisis,
we prevent child abuse
from ever happening.
Go to preventchildabuse.org to learn more.
That's preventchildabuse.org.
Let's solve child abuse before it ever happens.
Furnished by Prevent Child Abuse America.
Hello, I'm Jose Hernandez, and I have been using a wheelchair since my accident in 1995.
My name is Andrea Dalzell, and I've been using a wheelchair since I was 5 years old.
I guess if I had one message for the general public, it would be that I appreciate your help. But please, ask first.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that I've actually got everything under control.
I think people get nervous. They don't know how to act, so they pretend I'm not there.
What probably bothers me the most is when waiters talk to my companion and not directly to me.
I think everyone with a disability can relate to that parking spot problem.
We know you're just parking in that disabled spot for a second, but please, don't. We're just looking for the same respect and consideration as everyone else.
United Spinal Association is dedicated to enhancing the quality of life of people living with spinal cord injuries and disorders. Download our disability etiquette booklet at unitedspinal.org.
Download the all-new Westwood One Sports app. Catch every remaining minute of the men's and women's tournaments anytime, anywhere. And be sure, keep the app on your mobile device year-round as we bring you primetime NFL action next fall. Get the Westwood One Sports app today for iOS and Android. 51-40 Alabama on top. People know that we do a lot of preparing for these games, and I got to tell you, with the exception of the speed of the game, there's a lot of things that happened in that first half I was not expecting.
I did not expect BYU to be that cold from three. I did not expect BYU to abandon the three in totality for long stretches of this game. I expected Mark Sears to get hot. I didn't expect him to be that red hot and it become infectious with this team from beyond the arc. I mean, this group, we know the three-point line's an identity, but they are hitting highly contested threes. I can't imagine that could continue for an entire second half as well.
You played a lot of basketball in your lifetime. Put yourself in BYU's locker room in that halftime period. Are they talking about changing what they're doing or saying, you know what, we're going to do what we do, eventually it'll start to fall?
Yeah, I think the coach is reinstilling in those guys, hey, we're an offensive juggernaut ourselves. Let's hunt some of these threes, make them respect us, so then we can be in pursuit of easier twos. On top of that, a sense of urgency with the three-point line. It's not the college three, it's the NBA length, getting out and being a little bit more red with your awareness of shooters.
Alabama ran out in this game, and then BYU took a 5-point lead. That seemed like a distant memory. Crimson Tide leading the first half by as many as 12. They lead it at the break right now by 11 with 20 minutes of basketball left to go. Our halftime score, Alabama 51, BYU 40. Up next, we'll have the start of the second half when we return. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AB.
Ball above all. Am I right, y'all? Any questions?
Professor, NCAA Division I women's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to get loud? Rep your squad? Get your players hyped up to go all the way to the ship? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History.
March 19, 1981, a Sweet 16 matchup between BYU and Notre Dame that went down to the wire. With BYU trailing 50-49 with 9 seconds left, Cougar guard Danny Ainge made a mad dash that signaled the beginning of the modern era of March Madness.
I really anticipated that they were going to trap me, take the ball out of my hands, and that I was going to have to push the ball up the court as quick as I could and try to find the first open shooter that I had. That's what was going through my mind. And as I just dribbled up the court, I was just able to find seams and, get all the way to the rim and make the shot.
With 2 ticks left on the clock to give BYU the victory, Danny Ainge's drive to the basket. Another great moment in tournament history. I'm Kevin Kugler.
1981, the only modern era Elite Eight appearance for BYU. They also got there in 1951. That's where they're trying to go tonight, but they've got some ground to make up. Here at halftime, 51-40, Alabama, the number 2 seed in the East, with the lead over the 6 seed BYU. Let's check the halftime stats sponsored by Barbasol. Feeling great starts with a great shave. Great shaves start with Barbasol shaving cream. For whatever your day brings, choose Barbasol. It's a can of can-do. Alabama took 27 of their 34 shots from three-point land in the first half. They hit on 12 of them. They made 17 field goals and had 14 assists. The guy who led the way is the guy that they hoped would be leading the way. Mark Sears, 5 threes, 17 points, and 5 assists in the first half. On the other side, BYU missed their last 5. They were 1 for 13 from 3, missed their last 11 threes. They had an advantage points in the paint, 28-8. The partner, they are staring at the wrong end of a 51-40 score.
And this BYU team needs to get back to their identity, and being dangerous from that three-point line is part of what allows them to be an offense that plays with the freedom. And if you're starting to worry about that shot and then you're a little bit more deliberate in your action, well, that's not how they win games. This group has to get back to being a freedom of movement, space you out, ball doesn't stick, take whatever look comes. A lot of possessions. They need to get back to being a confident offensive group.
And as these things all come around full circle and everything comes together, it's time for the second half keys. Sponsored by Wago. Trust your game, trust your wiring with Wago electrical connectors. Gear up at wago.com/hoops for your next electrical project.
I'll start with the team trailing by 11 points. That's BYU, and it's in a defensive key. And obviously defend the three-point line, but I think they should sell out on Sears. Try and switch everything, blitz Sears, make somebody else beat you. He's the hottest from 3. He's hit those 5 triples at this point. He's 6 of 9 with 17 points. Let's see if the others can do it. Throw everything at him defensively. Meanwhile, for this Alabama group, I'd like to see them engage time and time again until they never get bored with it. A Sears Amori pick-and-roll sequence where you make this group have to pick the lesser of the 2 evils. Are we going to give up the 3 to Sears? Or are we going to allow Amore to be a guy that keeps dunking and putting on a show here in this arena this evening?
You're Alabama, just don't take your foot off the gas, right?
Yeah, the question for me now, though, is, Scott, can you stay this hot? There's hot, and then there's absurdly hot. They're absurdly hot. Will the percentages come back down, or will we see an all-time shooting performance here this evening?
Alabama 23-2 when leading at halftime, trying to make it back to the Elite Eight for a second straight year and the third time in program history. As they break the huddle, it's time for the start of the second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Alabama, the number 2 seed in the East in the home white with the crimson trim, crimson lettering and numerals. BYU in their alternate black traveling uniforms with royal blue numbers and letters trimmed in white. Cougars have the ball first, going from our right to our left. 20 minutes of basketball left to go to find out who's going to the Elite Eight. Dimon up on top, holding it for BYU. Comes around a couple of screens. Not much there on the left side. Throws through the lane, driving, dishing, and you're going to get a block shot. Wow, Cade's shot was blocked by Amori. It looked like he had an easy drop in. Cade wants a goaltending call, but the officials say, nope, he got it on the way up.
We're going to get another replay of it, and I think it might have been the cylinder may have been what comes into play there. The fact that it was over the cylinder, did it get up and over in time? Not the fact that the ball was still going up.
As it stands, it's Alabama basketball and no call on the play for the officials. Here come the Crimson Tide. Phylon up on top, the freshman left to the top of the circle. Hands for Nelson and now to Sears. Sears getting chased, dishes for Phylon on the left side. Driving into the paint. Kicks back through to the near side. Nelson finds Sears up top. Fake a three. Take to the foul line. Now back to Youngblood. 5 left to shoot. They got to let it go. Sears from another county comes up short, but Youngblood got the rebound. And now Youngblood gets a return pass, firing for Nelson on the left side. His alley-oop is a miss. Amori jumped too quick and couldn't dunk it. Back the other way. Mag driving, kicks back outside. They throw for the left corner, and Nell buries a three. What are the officials looking at right now? They're looking at a foul call on Nell after the shot. Oh, it's a technical foul after the made three. A technical foul on Trevin Nell.
Come on.
He either said something or he made a gesture, and apparently Tony Padilla didn't like it. Sears on the technical foul makes the first.
I think it's just for throwing up the three. Oh, a little talk.
He taunted. Second one is good for Sears. Just when BYU is trying to get a little bit of momentum, it falls right back again into the hands of Alabama.
I hate that. There's got to be some emotion allowed in the game.
Well, BYU is going to show some full court pressure now. You got the feeling looking at their bench that was going to be something that ignited them. The good ball movement, the made three.
I looked at you like, here comes the game. The three-point line, that ball movement, they got to stop. Here comes BYU.
Phylon driving, and a blocking foul is called on the same man. Trevin Nell thought he was set. He's got a big smile on his face, but he's not a happy man.
Phylon coming full steam of gas. I thought that Nell was in position to take a charge here.
He moved his feet very quickly and squared up.
Got the shoulder. I mean, he met a square chest with the defender in superb position defensively.
That's going to be 3 fouls now on him, but an interception on the rebound, and they slide it ahead for Saunders, who jams it home. Alabama trying to run right back again. And BYU gets back defensively. Now Amori driving. His shot no good. And another blocking foul on BYU. This one will be on Dimon.
Tell you, I'm a neutral guy. I feel like there's been 3 calls in a sequence that have gone unfairly against this BYU team. I thought, again, as the dive guy at Amori, defender was in position to take the charge. Oh, no, Dimon left his feet. That's where the charge came in.
Yep.
But there was an arm bar in the elevation of Amori to create a separation where you could maybe go charge. But leaving his feet makes him vulnerable and susceptible to the whistle.
So Amori's going to get a 2-shot foul out of this. The big man bends his knees, fires, and makes the first. You can hear every remaining moment of the NCAA men's and women's tournament on Alexa. Just ask your device to open Westwood One Sports. You'll be able to listen to all the action wherever you are. That's open Westwood One Sports to listen on Alexa. Second one for Amori is good. Good foul shooter for a big man. 4 out of 4 from the line tonight. Alabama 55, BYU 45, 18:28 to go. Dimon driving, nobody got him. Left side lane is good. Defensive breakdown from Alabama. Back the other way. Now they're coming out and not allowing Holloway to cut across the top of the circle. Here comes a double team. They're trapping him on the sideline. He gets it back out to Sears. Sears out of the circle for Youngblood. Right to the top of the circle, missed on a three. Long tip rebound for Sears. His three-pointer is good. That's 6 in the game for Sears. Tying his season high three-point jumpers. Gibbon comes back, tries a three. That's no good for BYU. And the rebound ripped down with authority by Grant Nelson. Alabama a chance for their biggest lead of the game. Sears picks up the dribble, gets to Nelson, back to Sears, and now he'll drive down the lane. And an alley-oop is jammed home by Amori. Biggest lead for Alabama. They're up 13.
Sears is a strong and double team every time, and once he does, there's an advantage in numbers. Ball moves, ends up in a dunk finish. The attention defensively he commands is problematic for the BYU defense.
Devin got a little bit of a shoulder from Youngblood, and he's called for the foul, and he has disbelief on his face with a foul call, his second. I'm sorry, son. You don't get to clap your hands and laugh that foul off after what happened to BYU 3 sequences in a row. Officials tightening it up here in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half. Cada takes the inbound for BYU, hands it off for Saunders. Saunders left of the lane, running one-hander up, in and out. Rebound tapped and controlled by Amori. Here comes Alabama. Up ahead, Nelson driving into the lane, tried the Euro step, lost the basketball. And Cada rips it up off the floor. Here come the Cougars back the other way. Sears trying to get in the way of a fast break is going to get called for a reach-in foul. His first.
Nelson took that too deep in transition into the teeth of the defense to the point of no return where there's active hands. Forced that turnover upon himself. Needed to pull into a retreat dribble, work the basketball from one side to the other and get another quality look.
Check that. That's number 2 on Sears. Cada shoveling back for Saunders, and the ball stolen away by Holloway. Behind the back pass, Sears a three. Got it! 7 3-pointers for Mark Sears, and BYU needs a timeout. They look up, and they realize they are now down 16 points.
Mark Sears just made eye contact with me. I don't know why it was me on the sidelines, but he stared through my soul. This guy is having a night of all nights when it matters most for his Crimson Tide. Absolutely electric.
Leading active scorer in NCAA basketball, the leading active scorer in the NCAA tournament is putting on a show. Got a timeout on the court, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You can save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com. Alabama 63, BYU 47 with 16:48 left to go. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's Basketball Tournament.
The forgotten poor are suffering and in need of healing. They wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, the largest floating civilian hospital in the world, with volunteer medical staff and crew who donate their time to save lives. Heroes of mercy, like these.
Every human being has the right to be treated as human, to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the look in that patient's eyes or the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
You bring hope and healing to one person, but that person belongs to a family, and that family belongs to a community.
Together, these heroes of mercy and friends like you bring hope and healing to those who desperately need it.
Thank you! Thank you!
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org today.
After my father was on a ventilator for 20 days due to COVID,